This is Mary Stella P6 Term 2 weighted assessment for 2023. Now in this paper, you are allowed to use the calculator. Let's look at question 1. Use all the digits 0, 2, 5, and 3 to form the smallest 4-digit odd number. So for an odd number, it has to end with either a 5 or a 3. Okay, so odd number, you have to end with a 5 or a 3. Since we want the smallest possible odd number that we can form with this, you can't start with 0, so let's start with 2. Then followed by 0, that's the smallest. So you have 5 and 3, which one comes first? If you want the smallest, then the smaller number will come first. So either way, the last number will be an odd number. So this is the answer, 2035. 1b, the greatest multiple of 5. So if it's a multiple of 5, it will end with either a 5 or 0. Okay, all multiples of 5 will either end with a 5 or a 0. So since we want the greatest, so your last number will definitely be the smallest, which is 0. Then you just form like from the greatest number to the smallest number. So starting with 5. And then you have 3 and 2 left. So in descending order, 5, 3, 2, 0. Question 2, John was strolling in a garden and he started his stroll at position B, facing north. So position B is over here, facing north, so he's facing upwards. He took 2 steps west and 3 steps north. Okay, I'm going to highlight from B, 2 steps west. Okay, where is west? This is west, this is east, south. So to the west means you go to the left. 3 steps north, so 3 steps up. And finally, 2 steps west, again to the left. So this is where he ends up. You're supposed to mark an X here. Which letter, C, D, E, or F, is southeast of John's final position? So southeast is this direction. Okay, so from where he's standing, you're going to go that direction. Use the grids to help you. It's going to cut through nicely. So he would be, the southeast of his final position would be F. We do not accept B because although generally, yes, it looks like it's southeast, right? But southeast will be exactly cutting diagonally across one square. Okay, so southeast is actually like here. So B would not be part of southeast. Question 3, Mrs. Lee spent 2/7 of her salary on a bag. The bag cost $320. How much was her salary? Okay, so if she spent 2/7 means that the total is 7 units. She spent 2 units, and that 2 units is the $320. If you want to find her salary, we are finding the total, which is 7 units. Okay, so we have 2 units, find 1 unit. You divide by 2, which is 160. Her total salary is 7 units, so it times 7. So this is the answer, $1,120. Question 4. I'm not able to show you on using this online, but the answer would be 10.8 for the length of BC and then the length of angle ABC, which you're supposed to use your protractor. And the answer is 16 degrees. So if you're getting anything more than 100 degrees, you're probably using the wrong scale. Okay, so in a protractor, your middle point should be at B. And then when you read off, it should be reading off 0 first. And then you read up. Okay, use the scale that starts with 0 on this AB line. Question 5, find the area of the shaded triangle. Now, area of triangle is half times base times height. The base is this part here. So let's find the base, which is 15 minus 3, 12. Base is 12. What is the area? So half times base times height. The height is over here, which is the same as 10 cm. So half times base times height. So answer is 60. 60 square cm. Question number 6. AC and BD are straight lines. AC, BD are straight lines. Okay, you cut across, there's an X. And then angle S is equal to angle T. Angle S is 65. So if this is 65, then this is also 65 degrees. Okay, we're supposed to find angle P. Do you have a vertically opposite angles? Because you have two straight lines cutting through each other to form an X. So angle P is actually the sum of S and T. Which is 130 degrees. Now for part B, find angle Q. Now, if this is a straight line, the angles here form 180 degrees. So you just have to take 180 minus S and T, which we have found already. So angle P is 180 minus 130. Okay, so this is 50 degrees. Or you can look at it this way also. AC is a straight line, so 180 here. We have found P, so 180 minus P, you get Q. Question 7. There were some men and women at a concert. 24 women left, and as a result, the percentage of men at the concert increased from 50% to 70%. How many people were at the concert at first? Okay, so what do we know about at first? We know that the men increased from 50% to 70%, which means that the men at first is actually 50% of the total. This also means that the women is actually the other half, the other 50% of the total. So men to women at first, 50%, 50%. Okay, we simplify this, you get 1 to 1. Now there is a change. 24 women left. So for the women, we write minus 24. There's no change in men, although the question said that there's actually a change in percentage, but no, there's no men that left the concert. Okay, it's because the women left, that's why the percentage would change. So the men in the end is 70%. This means that the women will be the remaining 30%. So when we simplify, this is 7 to 3. Now take note, although there's a change, right? When we talk about percentage, the total at first is 100%, and the total in the end is also 100%. But the first 100% is not equal to the second 100%. Okay? But when we talk about a group or the total is always 100%. So you have to make sure that they add up to 100% in each case. Now, whenever you have more than one set of ratio, you need to find common base. So what is the common base? The common base is the one that doesn't change, which is the number of men. So I have to make the number of men the same. So 1 to 1, change it to 7 to 7. Okay, so I multiply by 7 because I want to make men 7 units. So I have 24. The only value I have is 24. How many units is 24? So 24 is the decrease in women. Women decreased from 7 units to 3 units, which means that there is a decrease of 4 units, and this 4 units is 24. Next, we find 1 unit. Then they're asking for how many people were at the concert at first. So at first, there are 14 units. Remember, always use the new ratio. So 14 times 6. This will give us 84, and this is the answer. Question number 8. The number of 50-cent coins to the number of 20-cent coins that Liam kept in a box is in the ratio 7 to 4. Each day, he took out $1 worth of 50-cent coins and replaced them with $1 worth of 20-cent coins. After 12 days, he had an equal number of 20-cent coins and 50-cent coins in his box. How many 50-cent coins were left in the box after 12 days? Right, okay. So at first, we have the number of coins, which is 7 to 4. We have the ratio of the number of coins. So every day, he's going to take out $1 worth of 50-cent coins and then replace it with $1 worth of 20-cent coins. So in this case, we understand that the value doesn't change, but the number of coins will change, okay? Because one is worth 50-cent coins. Sorry, one is a 50-cent coin, one is a 20-cent coins. They would have an equal number of coins being removed and added, okay? In order to add up to the same value. Okay, so then at the end of 12 days, there's actually equal number of coins, equal number of 20-cent and 50-cent coins. Now, what I'm going to do is I know that 12 days have passed. Every day, he's taking out $1 worth and putting back $1 worth. Okay, just that he's taking out 50-cent coins, he's putting back 20-cent coins. So 12 days means it's $12 worth of coins, right? So let's find out what is $12 worth of 50-cent coins and $12 worth of 20-cent coins. I want to focus on the quantity of coins, okay? The number of coins. So with this, I have 24. This is the 50-cent coins. And with the 20-cent coins, he has actually added in 60 20-cent coins. Okay, so since the question said that he had equal number of each coins in his box at the end of 12 days, right? I'm going to use model. Okay, if you end off with equal number, you can use model. So starting off with 7 units and 4 units, which is for 50-cent coins versus your 20-cent coins. Now 7 units and 4 units. This is at first. We are taking out 24 50-cent coins. So we're going to remove 24 from the top model, and we have to add back 60 20-cent coins. So we're going to add 60 to the bottom, and in the end, they're going to have equal number. So let's say this is 24. Okay, that we are removing. Then we're adding in 60. And they have equal in the end. So from this model, can you tell how many units we can find? We have a 60 here and 24. If you were to add them up, you will actually get this. Okay, and that is 3 units. So for the quantity of coins, 3 units is 84. 1 unit, when you divide by 3, you get 28. What's the question? The question is asking for how many 20-cent coins were left at the end. Okay, so the number of 20-cent coins is the same as your 50-cent coins. You can find 4 units. Sorry, 50-cent coins. Okay, let's find 7 units and then we minus off 24. Okay, so 50-cent coins, 7 units at first. Then 196 minus 24. 172. Now, if you were to take 4 units and you add 60, you will technically get the same answer because the number of coins, the 20-cent coins and 50-cent coins are equal in the end. Now let's look at question 9. Sarah and Maddie had an equal amount of money at first. Sarah received $60 from her aunt and Maddie spent $332. Then Maddie had 1/9 of what Sarah had. How much in total did the two of them have in the end? Now for this question, you know, earlier on I said that because we end off with equal, so we use model. Here we started with equal, so I'm going to use model as well. Okay, so either you start off with equal or you end off with equal. You can try and see if model works. Usually it would be easier to see. So equal, you start off with 2 bars. Then Sarah received 60 from her aunt. You're going to add on $60. Maddie spent 332, so you're going to take away 332. Now, okay, I'm going to add on this $60. Then take away $332. In the end, Maddie had 1/9 of what Sarah had. So Maddie had 1 unit. Sarah had 9 units. So Maddie, 1 unit here. Sarah, 9 units for the whole thing, including the $60. Okay, so how many units can we find? We're actually looking at this portion here, where the 1 unit ends to where the 9 unit ends. Okay, the difference will give us 8 units. This is what we can find. Okay, so 8 units is 332 plus 60. One unit is 392 divided by 8, which is 49. how much in total did the two of them have in the end? Okay, so what they have in the end is 10 units. So 10 times 49. Okay, so our answer is $490. Don't forget your units. Now, question 10. ABCD is a piece of paper in the shape of a parallelogram. It is folded along line ST as shown below, where SB equals to BT. Okay, ST equals to BT. Mark out the equal lines, find the angle X. Now, if we were to draw what it looks like before it's folded, it's going to look something like that. This is a parallelogram according to the question. And we need to find X. Now, this angle X here is inside an isosceles triangle because we have two equal sides. So which means that to find X, I just need this here, this angle here. And this angle here is actually the same as this angle, right? So can you see that since it's a parallelogram, you have parallel lines. And the angles between a pair of parallel lines they add up to 180. So I can find this angle here. And this angle here is the same as this angle here. So angle SBT is SBT. This angle is the same as this. This and this adds up to 180. So I will take 180 minus 108, which is 72. So this is 72 degrees. How do you find X? We take 180 minus 72, divide by 2, because these two angles are the same. Key this into your calculator, you should get 54 degrees. Okay, question number 11. PQR and QSU are straight lines. PQR, QSU are straight lines. Find the angle TQR, okay, which is this angle marked out here. So to find this angle, first we have parallel lines. So every time you have parallel lines, please take note. This is parallel to this. Okay, because the angles between two parallel lines, right? They add up to 180. So this is 55, then this here is 180 minus 55. Which is 125. Next, find TSU. TSU, which is this angle here. To find this angle here, this is 360. I will have to find this angle here. Okay, so that I can take 360 minus this minus 109, and I get TSU. So how do I find TSR? Again, we have angles between parallel lines, right? So angle TSR is 180 minus 32. TSR, 180 degrees minus 32 degrees, 148. So this is 148. So angle TSU using 360 degrees minus 148 minus 109 equals to 103 degrees. Okay, so back to the diagram. This is 103 degrees because 360 minus 148 minus 109. 103 degrees is the answer. All right, next question. Question 12. Mei Hua has some 2 cm cubes. She packs the cubes in the rectangular tank shown below. At most, how many 2 cm cubes can she pack in the tank? So we are supposed to find how many cubes she can fit. How are we going to do that? Please do not take 50 times 20 times 35 and then 2 times 2 times 2 and you go and divide. Okay, that's the wrong way. Because the cubes are solid cubes, you cannot take the remaining space that is available and combine them to form another cube. So what we need to do is we need to make sure, or rather we need to find out how many cubes can you pack along the length first, okay? And then how many cubes can you pack along the breadth? And then how high can we go? How many layers can we go? So 50 cm, 2 cm cube means that each side is 2 cm. So for 50 cm length, you're gonna pack, you take 50 divided by 2. Because each side of the cube here, okay, this part here is 2. 25 cm. So how, what about the length? Sorry, the breadth. 20 cm, how many can you pack? So 20 divided by 2, which is 10. So each layer, 25 along the length, 10 along the breadth. So that's 25 times 10. How high can you go? 35 divided by 2. 17 remainder 1. Can you do anything with the 1 cm? No, you can't because the cubes are 2 by 2 by 2 cm. Okay, so the 1 cm you have to ignore. So the total you can get is, so some students may make the mistake of adding them up, but you're not supposed to add, you're supposed to multiply. Like 25 along the length, 10 along the breadth, that's 25 times 10. Then you can go 17 layers up. So times 17. This will give us 4250. So total number of cubes is 4250. Now part B. Mei Hua removed all the cubes and filled the rectangular tank with water to the brim. The water from the rectangular tank was then poured into a cubical tank here of sides 30 cm to its brim. How many liters of water was left in the rectangular tank? Okay, so not related to the cubes that she packed. She removed all of them already and she filled this tank totally, filled it up with water to the brim. So you have to find the volume of this when it's filled to the brim. And then that volume of water is being poured here into this cubical container. So we are supposed to find how many liters of water was left in the rectangular tank. So this cubical container has a capacity that's less than the rectangular tank. That's why there's still water left inside this tank. Okay, so we need to find out how much is left. Let's find the volume of each, the tank and the container first. Okay, so the container, the cubical container, thirty times 30 times 30. which gives us 27,000. Then the volume of the tank, which was 50, 20, 35. $35,000. So the cube is actually smaller than the tank. To find out how much is left in the tank, we'll just take this tank minus the cube. You'll get 8,000. All of this is in cubic cm, but the question is asking how many liters. So we have to convert this cubic cm into liters, which is divide by 1,000. Answer 8 liters. Next question, 13. The figure below shows two overlapping rectangles, A and B. The ratio of the area of rectangle A to the area of rectangle B is 10 to 9. 20% of rectangle A is shaded. The total unshaded area of rectangles A and B is 450 square cm. What is the area of the shaded part? Now, whenever you see diagrams like this in a question, try to label each parts of the diagram. Label each part of the diagram with units rather than like percentages or fractions. So we're going to use ratio. Okay, we'll get the units from the ratio. So first, 20% shaded. Let's change 20% to fraction. Which is 1/5. Okay, let's write down the ratio now. Ratio of A to B is 10 to 9. Then we have 20% of A is shaded. So shaded to A as 1 out of 5, right? Because 20% is 1/5. 1/5 of A is shaded. Now, I'm not writing shaded of A because the shaded of A is actually the same as the shaded of B. So I'll just call it shaded. Now, ratio, find common base, which is A. So I've changed this 5 to 10 by multiplying by 2. And now I'll figure out how many units is each of these parts. Shaded as 2 units, so I can write this as 2 units. The unshaded of A please do not label 10 units here because 10 is actually the whole of A. When we label, we're going to label like each part. So 10 minus 2. The whole of B is 9 units. This is 2 units. So the unshaded part of B is 9 units minus 2 units. 7 units. There is a value given. The total unshaded part is 450. So I will add the unshaded parts up. Which is 15 units. Now 15 units is 450 square cm. We find 1 unit. Which is 30. Okay, what is the area of the shaded part? Now the shaded part here is 2 units. So that's what we need to find, 2 units. 2 times 30, which is 60. All right, so that's the answer, 60 square cm. Question 14. Joey and Peter bought some cupcakes. Each of them spent $18. Joey used a voucher that gave her a 20% discount and she got 3 cupcakes more than Peter. How many cupcakes did Joey get? And find the discount given for each cupcake. Right, okay. So for the first part, they spent the same amount of money, which is $18, okay? But because Joey had a voucher that she could get a discount on, she managed to buy 3 more cupcakes than Peter. So basically, this extra 3 cupcakes that she's getting is because of the discount, okay? Whatever she could have saved, she didn't save, but she went to buy more cupcakes. How much of a discount did she get? She got a 20% discount, okay? So 20% of what she originally had could get her 3 cupcakes. So 20% of what Joey had, she could get 3 cupcakes. So how many cupcakes did she get? She spent all her money, right? So if she spent all her money means 100% of what she had. So to find 100%, we times 5. So what did she get? She get 3 times 5, which is 15 cupcakes. Okay, so that's the answer for A. She got 15 cupcakes. Again, if she had gotten a discount of 20%, and that 20% allowed her to buy 3 more cupcakes, then if she were to spend all her money, which she did, you just need to find 100% of her money. Okay, so that's the total number of cupcakes that she would have gotten, that she got actually. So 15 is the answer for part A. Now for part B, find the discount given for each cupcake. So 15 cupcakes is what Joey had, right? And she actually spent a total of $18. So 15 cupcakes at a discounted price is $18. So every cupcake at a discounted price is 18 divided by 15, which is $1.20. Now, there's 2 ways to find the discount given. So every cupcake is 120, and if this is the discounted, so 120 is actually 80% of 1 cupcake. So you can do this. Let me show you 2 ways. So from here, so 80% of 1 cupcake is 120. Then you can find 1% of 1 cupcake. And then you find 100%. No, sorry, you don't want to find 100%. You want to find a discount, which is 20%. Okay, so you can actually find 20% straight away by dividing by 4. So this is one way. The other way is we use okay, or we can use Peter, the information given for Peter to help us find the discount. How? Peter spent $18 as well, and the number of cupcakes that he bought is 3 less than Joey. So number of cupcakes Peter bought is 15 minus 3, which is 12. Right. He also had $18, so he only bought 12 cupcakes. His is no discount. So one cupcake original price is $18 divided by 12 cupcakes, which is $1.50. Then you compare the one cupcake that Joey got at and one cupcake that Peter got at, and the difference will give you the discount. Okay, so you can choose the one in red, these two lines, or the one in blue, whichever you understand better, okay? But if you understand both, that's great. So you just use either one method. So answer for part B, the discount for each cupcake is 30 cents. Question 15. Mr. Yip has 5 meters of wire. He bends the wire to form as many identical circles as possible at an equal distance apart in the diagram in a pattern as shown below. The diameter of each circle is 7 cm. The distance from the center of one circle to the center of the next circle is 18 cm. So what is the length of the remaining wire? Okay, so take note that this 5 meter of wire, right, includes all these straight lines. It's not just the circle. Okay, so he formed the circles with all these distances. Then this is the remaining piece of wire. So what we do here is we're going to group every circle, because every circle comes with an 18. So I'm going to group them like that. And so on. All right. So this last circle does not come with an 18. By the way, when I say circle plus 18, I don't mean 7 cm plus 18, but the circumference of one circle plus 18. So let's find the circumference of one circle first. Okay. Then later on, we'll look at this last circle. Let's find circumference first. Circumference pi times diameter. So 22 over 7 times the diameter, which is 7. This is 22 cm. So this last circle here is 22 cm. The total length is 5 meter. Okay, let's change to cm first, which is 500 cm. I want to find like how many groups are there. And I need to first take away the extras, which is this 28, as well as this circle. So 500 is the total length. Oops. Minus 28 minus 22. So this is the 22 I'm taking away in yellow. And I have a 28 that I'm taking away as well. So this 450 will give us all the groups as well as the remaining. Okay, since they said that he used the wire to form as many identical circles, right? You want to find out what's the maximum number of groups that you're going to have. And then whatever that is left will be this remaining amount. So let's find one group first. One group is made up of a circumference plus 18. So every group is 14 cm long. Now I have 450. I will take 450 divide by 40. To find how many groups we can get. Okay, so 450 divided by 40. This will give us 11 groups, remainder 10 cm. So I know there's 11 of these grouped up, and this 10 cm is actually this remaining portion here. Okay, so answer for part A is 10 cm. Then for part B, how many circles did he form? Now remember we have 11 groups, right? So 11 of these. Then also we have this one highlighted in yellow that does not come in a group. So the number of circles is actually 11 plus 1. So answer 12 circles formed. Next, question 16. Figure shows two quarter circles. So this is one big quarter circle, and this is the other one. Two quarter circles of two different sizes on a square grid. The side of each small square is 4 cm. Find area of the shaded part. So to find the shaded part is actually a big quadrant minus all these unshaded parts. Okay, you can ignore the one outside of the quadrant. So let's just find big quadrant minus the unshaded parts. The unshaded parts inside can be split up into two separate parts. So this is one part here, which is a rectangle, right? Let's call this A. And also, there is this part here, which is like a boomerang. Let's call this B. Okay, so big quadrant minus A and minus B. To find the big quadrant, I need radius because pi times radius is the formula for area of circle. So radius of big quadrant is 4 cm times 3. Okay, this is the radius. 4 cm times 3. So the area of the big quadrant will be a quarter times pi, which is 3.14 times radius. This will give us 113.04 for the area of the big quadrant. Now, let's find A and find B. So to find area of A, this is 4 This is 8. So 4 times 8, area of A. Okay, now let's find area of B. To find area of B, we have to take the area of this square minus away the area of this small quadrant. So area of the square will be 8 times 8. Then next area of small quadrant. Quadrant is a quarter, so a quarter times 3.14 times radius times radius. What is this radius? This radius is 8. That's the radius of the quadrant, so 8 times 8. 50.24. So the area of B is actually the square, 64, minus the small quadrant, which is 13.76. Okay, so this is 13.76 and this here is 32. So big quadrant, let's highlight. The big quadrant, which is this one. Take away area of A and take away area of B. To get the shaded part, okay? So the shaded part will be 113.04 minus 32 minus 13.76. 67.28. So answer 67.28 square cm. All right, next question. It's a patterns question. Last question. Find, using the figures here, they form a pattern. So each figure is made up of a triangle, circles, and dotted lines. So if we look at the dotted lines, what is the pattern observed? 3, 6, 9, 12. They are all multiples of 3. So this is like 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, and so on. So the next one will be 15 because it's 3 times 5. Number of circles, what do you notice about the pattern? Every time you go to a new figure, you add on one more square, and then you have to add 2 more circles, right? So like example, this is the first figure. You add on a triangle, you add on 2 more circles. The next one, you add on a triangle and 2 more circles. So as you increase, the number of circles will increase by 2. So this is 11. Number of triangles is the same as the number of the figure number. So the next part, complete the table. Okay, done. Which figure contains 114 dotted lines? Dotted lines is the multiples of 3, so you can just divide by 3, which is 38. So that's the answer, 38. Take note that sometimes it is a multiple but when you divide, they don't give you the figure number, and so it's like it's sometimes one more or one less, so you have to check. Okay, so you can take one example, 12 divide by 3, you get 4, which is the same as figure number. Then okay, this answer is the figure number. Okay, always please check your work, check back and see if that logic is true. Part C, a figure has 51 triangles. How many circles are there in this figure? So we're looking at triangles and we're looking at circles. If there are 51 triangles, means figure 51. Okay, so figure 51, how many circles are there? Now we are using interval concept. Every interval is a +2. So basically, figure number 51, how many times of +2 are you adding to the original number? So the number of intervals is always one less from the figure number. So what I mean by that, example, figure 2, there's only one interval. You're only adding it once. Figure 3, there are 2 intervals. You're adding 2 twice. Figure 4, there are 3 intervals, and so on. So figure 51, there will be 50 intervals. So what we do is we write down number of intervals. 51 minus 1, which is 50. Every interval you add 2, right? So we'll take 50 times 2. Then that's the number of, from all the intervals that you're adding to the original number, which is a 3. So you have to add back 3. And that will give you the final number of circles. Okay, so that's the answer, 103. So with that, that is the end of this paper. This is Mary Stella for 2023 Term 2 weighted assessment.